What if I told you the only thing standing between you and the life you dream of is you? Not your age. Not your circumstances. Not your background. Just you. Because if you died tomorrow, would you be proud of how you lived today? If your answer is no, then this is the moment that could change everything. Not next year. Not next month. Now. Most people wait for life to get better on its own. But let me tell you the truth, life doesn't change by accident. It changes when you change. And if you're still holding on to excuses like I'm too young, or I don't have time, it's time to wake up. Because excuses aren't real, they're just lies we tell ourselves to feel better about not trying. This video isn't about motivation. It's about transformation. And if you stick with me to the end, it might just be the moment your future self looks back on and says, "That's when everything started to change." Let's be honest, most people don't fail because they're not smart enough or talented enough. They fail because they never start. They wait. They hesitate. And while they're waiting for the right time, life keeps moving without them. They say things like, "I'm too young. I'm too old. I don't have the money. I don't have the time." But here's the brutal truth. Those aren't reasons. They're excuses, and excuses are just comfortable lies we tell ourselves so we don't have to take responsibility. Look around. There are people who started with less than you, and still made it. So what's stopping you? It's not the world. It's not bad luck. It's your mindset. Your habits. Your fear of failing before you even try. Success doesn't come to the most gifted. It comes to the ones who take action even when they're scared. Even when they don't feel ready. You can keep talking about what you want. Or you can get up and go after it. But you can't do both. And here's the twist. The longer you wait, the harder it gets. Not because the goal moves further away, but because you start believing your own excuses. So stop lying to yourself. You're not stuck. You're just not moving. But that's about to change. If you still think your situation is holding you back, think again. Let's talk about someone who had every reason to fail, and didn't. Oprah Winfrey. She was born into crushing poverty. Faced abuse. Rejection. Trauma most people wouldn't survive. She was told she'd never make it. Told she wasn't good enough. And she could have believed it. She could have let the world define her. But she didn't. Because Oprah understood something most people never figure out. Your mindset is your weapon. She didn't wait for someone to save her. She became the hero of her own story. She stayed focused. She worked harder than anyone around her. And she turned every setback into fuel. Today, she's not just successful, she's one of the most influential women in the world. But don't miss the point, this isn't about Oprah. It's about you. The only difference between her and the version of you that's still stuck is mindset. Not talent. Not opportunity. Mindset. So here's the question. Are you letting your story break you? Or build you? Because the moment you stop blaming your past and start rewriting your future, that's the moment everything begins to shift. And what happens next is entirely in your hands. Close your eyes just for a moment and imagine this. You wake up in a beautiful home. Not a rented apartment. Not a shared room. Your home. Paid for by your effort. Sunlight pours through the window. The air smells like freedom. And outside? A sleek, luxury car is waiting for you, not to show off, but to remind you of how far you've come. You head downstairs. Your parents are sitting at the breakfast table, smiling. There are no more tired eyes. No more quiet stress about money. Because you made sure they never have to worry again. You gave them the life they once dreamed of for you. Now open your eyes. Does that feel impossible? Because it's not. That life you just saw? It already exists in your imagination. And if you can see it, you can build it. But here's the catch. Dreams don't come true just because you want them. They come true when you work for them. Relentlessly. Consistently. With zero excuses. It all begins with one decision. To stop living in fantasy. And start building your reality. And the first brick in that reality? Your habits. Let's talk about that next. You can dream all you want. You can visualize the car, the house, the freedom. But none of it matters if your habits are destroying your future. Let's get real. If you're spending hours every day watching Netflix, mindlessly scrolling through Instagram, locked into video games while the world moves on without you, you're not relaxing. You're wasting. Wasting time. Wasting talent. Wasting your one shot at greatness. Time is the most valuable thing you'll ever own. You can lose money and make it back. But every second that slips by, you never get it again. So here's a brutal truth. Your habits are either building your dream life, or they're silently burying it. Want to know what separates successful people from everyone else? It's not luck. It's not connections. It's what they do when no one's watching. While others sleep in, they're up grinding. While others scroll, they're studying. While others complain, they build. Now, think about your parents. Your mother sacrificed her body, her health, and her peace to give you life. Your father worked himself to the bone just so you could eat, learn, and dream. And what are you doing to repay them? They didn't struggle just so you could waste your life staring at a screen. They dreamed bigger for you. So tell me, don't you want to see your mom smile like she did when you were a kid? Don't you want to look your dad in the eyes and say, "You can rest now. I've got us"? That moment is possible. But only if your habits start aligning with your vision. Because success doesn't respond to wishful thinking. It answers to discipline. So ask yourself, what are you doing today that your future self will thank you for? Next, let's talk about what it really takes to get there. Here's something you probably don't want to hear. But you need to. Success isn't easy. It's not comfortable. And it's definitely not convenient. It requires sacrifice. It means waking up early when your body begs for 5 more minutes. It means working on your goals while your friends are out partying. It means saying no to distractions. And yes to the uncomfortable grind. But here's what most people don't understand. Sacrifice isn't punishment. It's investment. You're not missing out. You're leveling up. Let me tell you a story. A young man once asked a mentor, "How do I become successful?" The mentor didn't answer. He simply took the boy to the ocean. They walked into the water, and suddenly, the mentor held the boy's head under the surface. Seconds passed. The boy panicked. Just as he was about to pass out, the mentor let him up. Gasping, confused, the boy asked, "Why would you do that?" And the mentor said, "When you want success as badly as you want it to breathe, that's when you'll achieve it." Let that sink in. How bad do you really want it? Because if you're only willing to chase success when it's easy, when it's convenient, when you're in the mood, then you don't want it enough. The people who rise to the top? They're not more talented than you. They're more relentless. They sacrifice weekends, comfort, laziness, and ego. So they can rise while others stay asleep. So now the question is, what are you willing to give up to become who you were meant to be? And maybe it starts with who you surround yourself with. Let's go there next. Look around you. The people you spend time with. Are they building you up or dragging you down? Because here's the hard truth. You become who you surround yourself with. If your friends are lazy, negative, and constantly complaining about life, guess what you'll become? The exact same. You can have the biggest dreams in the world. But if you're surrounded by small-minded people, your dreams will start to shrink just to fit in. Let me be blunt. If the people closest to you laugh at your goals, mock your ambition, or call you too serious for wanting more from life, they're not your friends. They're anchors. And you weren't built to stay stuck at the bottom. Success isn't just about hustle. It's about environment. It's about energy. It's about who's feeding your fire and who's trying to put it out. So start choosing wisely. Surround yourself with people who push you to level up. People who clap for you when you win. And hold you accountable when you slack off. And if that means walking away from people you've known for years, so be it. Because your future is more important than their opinions. And real friends? They won't resent your growth, they'll grow with you. You owe it to yourself to create a circle that reflects your highest potential, not your lowest comfort. And speaking of potential, there's one thing that determines everything from this point forward. Let's talk about belief. Because if you don't believe in yourself, nothing else matters. If you take away everything else, your background, your education, your money, there's one thing that will always decide your future: your belief in yourself. Because the truth is, nobody's going to hand you confidence. The world won't stop and say, "Hey, you're amazing, now go be successful." No. The world is full of doubters. People who will tell you you're not smart enough, not talented enough, not enough. But here's the thing. They don't know your potential. And most of them don't even believe in their own. So why would you let their fear decide your future? Do you think legends never got laughed at? Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team. The coach literally said, "You're not good enough." He could have quit. He could have believed that voice. But instead, he got to work. He trained. He focused. And he became one of the greatest athletes the world has ever seen. That's what belief does. Belief doesn't mean you never fall. It means you get back up every single time. It means you don't need permission to go after what you want. You just go. Because here's the truth most people never realize. You don't need anyone's approval. You don't need to feel ready. You just need to believe that your life is worth fighting for. And if you're still doubting yourself right now, let me remind you. You are capable. You are powerful. And you are enough. But believing it once isn't enough. You've got to train your mind to believe it daily. And that's exactly what we'll get into next. Your mind is the most powerful tool you'll ever own. But here's the catch. If you don't program it, the world will. And the world? It will fill you with fear, doubt, comparison, and noise. You'll start thinking, "I'm not good enough. I'm falling behind. I'll never make it." But those thoughts? They're not facts. They're patterns. Patterns you've repeated so often, they've started to feel real. Now it's time to break that cycle. And take control of the conversation happening inside your head. Here's how you start. Talk to yourself. Yes, talk to yourself. Every single day, say things like, "I am capable. I am strong. I can achieve anything I set my mind to." Write it down. Say it out loud. Repeat it until your mind has no choice but to believe it. Because your brain? It believes whatever you tell it most consistently. Feed it garbage, it'll give you anxiety and insecurity. Feed it strength, it'll give you focus, clarity, and power. Your mind is a garden. What you plant is what grows. Plant fear, you grow regret. Plant confidence, you grow success. So from this day forward, speak life into yourself. Say it with me. I am unstoppable. I am not my past. I am becoming the person I was born to be. It might feel awkward at first. But keep going. Because this isn't about being positive. This is about rebuilding your identity from the inside out. And once you start planting the right seeds in your mind, it's time to take the next step. See the life you want and go after it. Let's talk about that next. Close your eyes, seriously, try it. Now picture the life you really want. Not the version you settle for. The real one. You see yourself waking up in your dream home. You walk through rooms you designed. You open your closet and wear clothes you once thought were out of reach. Your phone buzzes, not with distractions, but with congratulations, opportunities, wins. You smile, not because of what you have, but because you built it. You earned every bit of it. Now, open your eyes. Here's the truth. If you can see it in your mind, you can create it in your life. Every great achievement you admire started as a vision in someone's head. A blurry idea that they were bold enough to chase. But listen closely. Visualization without action is just daydreaming. You can journal, manifest, meditate. But if you don't move, nothing changes. So yes, visualize. Picture your dream life every single day. Let it fuel you. Let it guide your decisions. Let it remind you why you're sacrificing now. But then, act. Take the step. Make the call. Learn the skill. Do the uncomfortable thing. Again. And again. Because dreams aren't built in your mind. They're built in your schedule. So don't just imagine the life you want. Start becoming the person who lives it. And to do that, there's one thing you must master above all. Your thoughts. Because if you don't control your mind, it will control you. Let's dive into that next. Here's a truth that most people never realize. Your mind can either be your greatest weapon or your worst enemy. Because if you don't control your thoughts will start to control you. Think about it, how often do you hear that little voice saying, "I'm not good enough. I'll probably fail. Why even try?" Those aren't just thoughts. They're traps. And if you don't shut them down, they will bury your potential before it ever sees the light of day. So the next time a thought like that creeps in, don't just accept it. Challenge it. Say, "No. I'm in control here. I choose what I believe. I decide what happens next." Because your mind is like a muscle. And if you train it to focus on growth, possibility, and gratitude, it gets stronger, sharper, more focused. But if you feed it fear, comparison, and doubt, it will turn on you. Here's what you need to understand. Your life will always move in the direction of your strongest thoughts. So if you want to change your life, you have to start by changing what you believe about yourself, your future, and what's possible. And right now, you have everything you need inside of you to live the life you imagine. But you've got to stop waiting for motivation. You've got to build discipline. You've got to own your mornings. Command your mindset. Defend your dreams every single day. Because no one else is going to do it for you. And here's the good news. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be consistent. And that's exactly what we'll talk about next. Everyone wants a breakthrough. But no one talks about the small steps that build it. We live in a world obsessed with overnight success. But real transformation? It happens quietly, through tiny, consistent actions that no one sees. Want to change your life? Start small. Pushpin, want to get fit? Start with just 10 minutes of exercise a day. Pushpin, want to improve your English? Learn 5 new words every morning. Pushpin, want to save money? Start by setting aside $10 a week. It might feel like nothing. But here's the truth. Small steps, taken consistently, create massive change over time. A single drop of water doesn't look powerful. But keep it dripping long enough, and it can carve through stone. So stop waiting to feel ready. Stop believing you need some huge leap to make progress. You don't. What you need is movement. Tiny wins. Daily effort. Momentum. Because every time you follow through, you're proving something to yourself. I can do this. And that belief? It compounds. It grows. It becomes unshakable. You don't need to sprint. You just need to keep showing up. So today, ask yourself, what's one small thing I can do right now that moves me closer to my goals? Then do it. And do it again tomorrow. And again the day after that. Because success doesn't arrive. It accumulates. Now let's talk about the fuel that keeps it all going. Stop waiting for someone to come light your spark. Because here's the truth. No one is coming. No one's going to knock on your door and hand you motivation. No one's going to follow you around cheering you on every time you feel tired. And no one, not your parents, not your partner, not your friends, will believe in you more than you believe in yourself. So if you're sitting around waiting to feel inspired, you'll be waiting forever. You have to be your own fire. Stand in front of the mirror and say it out loud. I'm proud of myself. I'm doing better every single day. I don't need approval, I need progress. Because when you stop needing others to validate your journey, that's when your journey really begins. And look, some days, you'll feel like quitting. Some days, no one will notice your effort. Some days, the results will be invisible. But those are the days that matter most. Because those are the days you prove to yourself. This isn't a phase. It's who I am now. And here's a secret. The more you show up for yourself, the more powerful you become. So fuel your own fire. Be your own cheerleader. Clap for yourself when no one else will. And if you ever need proof that this works, look around at the people who inspired you. They didn't wait for applause. They became the reason others clapped. And now, it's your turn to do the same. But before you move forward, there's one mindset shift that will multiply everything. Let's talk about that next. Gratitude isn't weakness. It's not just about saying thank you when life feels good. It's power. Because when you're chasing big dreams, it's easy to get overwhelmed. To feel like you're not moving fast enough. To only see how far you still have to go. But here's what gratitude does. It reminds you how far you've already come. Think about it. There was a time when you wished for the very things you have right now. A time when you prayed for peace. For safety. For a second chance. And now, you're here. Still breathing. Still standing. Still capable of changing everything. That's not small. That's not luck. That's proof you've already made it through things that tried to break you. So start each day with this question. What am I thankful for right now? Maybe it's your family. Your health. Your ability to try again today. Write down 3 things. Say them out loud. Anchor yourself in appreciation, not anxiety. Because when you start from gratitude, you move from a place of strength, not lack. And guess what? Gratitude doesn't slow your hustle. It fuels it. It turns I have to into I get to. I have to study becomes I get to learn. I have to work becomes I get to build. This shift changes everything. It makes the grind meaningful. It keeps your heart full while your hands stay busy. And it reminds you that even while chasing greatness, you're already blessed beyond measure. Now, with that mindset, you're ready for the most important part of all: the decision to go all in. Let's finish strong. This is it. Not tomorrow. Right now. The second you've been waiting for. The one where your life shifts from wishing to doing. Because here's the truth: you only get one shot at this life. One chance to write your story the way you want it told. So the real question is, what are you going to do with it? Are you going to keep scrolling? Keep saying one day? Keep hiding behind excuses, fear, and comfort? Or are you finally going to step up and say, enough? Enough of settling. Enough of doubting. Enough of playing small in a world that needs you at your full power. This is your wake-up call. This is the universe slapping you on the shoulder saying, let's go. Your moment is now. No more waiting for motivation. No more perfect timing. No more blaming your past. From this point forward, you own your future. You want the dream? Earn it. You want the life? Build it. You want respect? Show up for yourself first. Stop asking, what if I fail? Start asking, what if I succeed beyond anything I've ever imagined? Because that version of you? The one with the power, the peace, the success, the freedom? They're not some fantasy. They're already inside you. Waiting. But you have to take the first step. So get up. Write your goals down. Make your plan. Cut the distractions. Chase the dream like your life depends on it. Because it does. No more almost. No more later. This is your moment. And I'll leave you with this. You are capable. You are worthy. You are unstoppable. Now go out there and prove it.